In the cold darkness of space, a giant space station floated above a blue planet. The station belonged to the Galactic Council, the most powerful rulers of the galaxy. Inside, 13 alien leaders gathered in a large silver hall. The walls were covered with bright lights and symbols of power. They had gathered to make one final decision about Earth. One of them, a tall alien with green scales, stood up. His name was Zara, leader of the council. His voice was calm but sharp. The humans have broken our laws again. They fight, they destroy, they spread their violence. They cannot be trusted. They are a threat to all of us. Other members of the council nodded. They had watched humans for a long time. Humans had made great machines, great cities, but they had also made terrible weapons. The council feared that humans would bring war to the stars. A blue-skinned alien named Thava spoke next. We gave them many warnings, even offered to teach them peace, but they refused. They are dangerous. Silence filled the hall. Finally, Zara raised his long hand. Then let us vote. Destroy Earth, or let them live. One by one, each alien placed a glowing crystal into a bowl in front of them. If the crystal was red, it meant destroy. If it was green, it meant spare. The lights inside the bowl turned bright red. The vote was final. Earth must be destroyed. At that same moment, in a small hidden room on the station, a young human named Daniel Holt listened with horror. He was an Earth ambassador, a simple diplomat, sent to speak with the council. He had been hoping for peace. He had trusted them. Now he realized he had been a fool. He had hidden a small listening device in his clothes. His hands shook as he sent a secret message back to Earth. They have voted to destroy us. 7 days left. I am activating Project Phoenix. The message went through, though barely. Static crackled in Daniel's ear. He held back tears. Far away on Earth, deep under the ice of Antarctica, a giant bunker came to life. Machines that had slept for many years began to hum. Hidden reactors started to glow. An old scientist, Dr. Helen Park, checked the signals. Her eyes went wide. Project Phoenix is active, she whispered. People around her began to move quickly. Technicians ran to their stations. Old weapons systems were switched on. The walls of the bunker shook as power flowed through them. Dr. Park took a deep breath. It is time, she said. Wake the Titans. Back on the council station, Daniel tried to stay calm. He had only minutes before the council guards found him. He slipped through a side door and ran into a hallway. The metal floors echoed under his boots. He remembered his training, do not panic. But fear was strong. Suddenly, a guard blocked his way. The guard was tall, with 4 arms and bright red eyes. Where are you going, human? The guard asked in a deep, angry voice. Daniel tried to lie. I have permission to return to my shuttle, he stammered. The guard looked suspicious. He scanned Daniel with a small device. It beeped. The guard's eyes narrowed. It? Have a transmitter, the guard growled. Daniel did not wait. He ran. Alarms started to ring across the station. Red lights flashed. Other guards shouted and chased him. Daniel ducked around a corner, his heart pounding. He knew he had no way to escape the station. But maybe he could hide long enough for Earth to prepare. He found an air vent and crawled inside. Warm air blew. On his face, his shoulders ached from the tight space. But he kept crawling deeper into the metal tunnels. Meanwhile, on Earth, Dr. Park watched a huge monitor showing the sky. Small dots appeared, the Council's ships, moving closer to Earth. They are coming, one technician said. Dr. Park nodded. We will not go quietly, she replied. She opened a sealed door with a giant metal lock. Inside were huge war machines, taller than buildings. They had been built in secret long ago, but never used. Reactivate the Titans, she commanded. Engineers rushed to obey. Sparks flew as cables connected. The Titan's eyes glowed a soft blue dot back on the station. Daniel hid behind a vent cover, breathing hard. His hands were scratched and bleeding. He knew the Council would soon find him. But he had done his job. The warning was sent. Earth was not defenseless. For the first time in many years, Daniel felt hope. He looked out a small window in the vent. The stars shined calmly, as if nothing was wrong. But deep inside him, he knew a war was coming, and this time, humanity would not go down without a fight. The cold winds of Antarctica blew across endless ice. Under this frozen land, a secret place had waited for many years. Buried deep under the ice, the bunker of Project Phoenix woke up like a sleeping giant. Inside, engineers worked fast. Sparks flew as they connected old machines to new power cells. Huge metal walls vibrated as energy flowed through them. Dr. Helen Park stood in the command center. She watched large screens showing power levels and weapons tests. Her face was calm, but inside, she was scared. Long until the Titans. "Are ready?" she asked. An engineer answered quickly. "Maybe 5 days if we don't run into more problems." Dr. Park frowned. "The Council will reach Earth in 7 days. We have no choice. Work faster." In another part of the bunker, soldiers trained with old but powerful weapons. They moved quickly, relearning skills they had forgotten. Some were young, others were veterans. But all of them knew what was coming. They would be Earth's last line of defense. Above the bunker, a transport ship landed on the ice. Its engine steamed in the freezing air. From it stepped a woman in a heavy coat, Captain Sarah Knox, commander of Earth's defense forces. She had steel-gray eyes and a scar across her cheek. She looked around with a soldier's careful eye, then walked into the bunker. Dr. Park greeted her. "Captain Knox, you came fast?" "Of course," Sarah said. "If these Titans can save us, I want to see them myself." Dr. Park took her into the Titan hangar. Their 10 giant war machines stood like silent statues. Each one was 50 meters tall, armored, and armed with weapons more powerful than nuclear bombs. Captain Knox stared at them, amazed. "You built these without telling the Council?" she asked. Dr. Park nodded. "Yes, we had to. We could not trust them." Knox smiled slightly. "Good. We'll make them regret underestimating us." Meanwhile, far above the ice, a small council. Scout ship flew low, scanning for energy signals. Inside it was a pilot named Carell, from the insect-like Varick species. His scanners beeped with strange readings. "What is this?" he wondered. Strange energy from under the ice. Oh, he decided to fly closer. The ship's sensors picked up huge heat signatures from the bunker. Carol's eyes widened. "They have hidden weapons." Quickly sent a signal to the main council fleet. "I found something. Humans have a secret base." Down in the bunker, alarms started to ring. Captain Knox and Dr. Park ran to a command screen. A red light flashed. "Council scout!" An officer shouted. "It saw us." Knox slammed her fist on the table. "Shoot it down." Too late. The signal is all ready. Sent a cold silence fell over the control room. Everyone knew what that meant. The Council would now attack faster. "We just lost our surprise," Dr. Park whispered. Captain Knox clenched her jaw. "Then we hold them here. They want a fight, they'll get one." Outside, huge doors on the bunker's roof opened. Anti-air cannons rose up, tracking the scout ship. Beams of light shot into the dark sky, burning through snow and ice. The scout ship tried to dodge, but one cannon hit it. The ship exploded. In a bright flash, falling in flames onto the ice. Inside, soldiers cheered, but only for a moment. They knew the Council fleet would now come with full force. Meanwhile, in the Council station, orbiting Jupiter, the alien leaders received Carol's last message. Zara, the green-scaled Council leader, stood before a large star map. He hissed, "The humans are not as weak as we thought." Thava, the blue-skinned alien, looked worried. "They have hidden weapons." Zara's eyes burned with anger. "No matter. We will destroy them all the same. Move the fleet. Attack early." Back on Earth, Captain Knox gathered her troops in a briefing room. "Listen up," she shouted. "The Council is coming sooner than we planned. We have to finish preparing. The Titans, if they break through here, Earth will burn." Soldiers nodded grimly. There was no fear in their eyes, only determination. Knox looked at Dr. Park. Can you really wake them up in time? Dr. Park took a deep breath. We have. To try. Late that night, in a dark corridor of the bunker, a young technician named Milo worked alone. He was trying to fix a power line that fed one of the Titans. Sparks flew near his hands, making him sweat. Suddenly, he heard a faint tapping sound. He turned, expecting to see another engineer. But the hallway was empty. Then he heard it again. Tap, tap, tap. Milo swallowed hard. Who's there? No answer. He took a step back and saw a red light blinking on a small device attached to the wall. His heart stopped. That's a tracker, he realized. It was an alien tracking beacon. The council had planted it inside their bunker. They know exactly where we are. Milo ran to sound the alarm. Red lights flashed everywhere. Soldiers and engineers rushed into action. Captain Knox grabbed her rifle. Everyone, prepare for battle. It could be here any hour now. Ah! Dr. Park looked at the Titans, still not fully ready. Her heart was heavy. We need more time, she whispered. But time had run out. Outside, the skies above Antarctica were no longer empty. Dark shapes appeared between the stars. The council fleet had arrived. Red dust blew across the silent deserts of Mars. The colonies there had been quiet for years, focusing on farming and mining. But now, Mars was no longer safe. Above its thin skies, a massive council battleship had arrived, waiting to join the main attack on Earth. Its weapons were ready to fire. In a small underground resistance base, a young woman named Lena Chen stared at a hologram of the ship. Her dark eyes were serious. She wore a worn-out spacesuit with a blue resistance symbol on its shoulder. Beside her stood Colonel Ortiz, an older, rough-looking soldier. We cannot let that ship reach Earth, Lena said firmly. Ortiz nodded. They joined the fleet. Earth won't survive. They had a plan, risky, crazy, but their only chance. They would sneak on board the battleship and destroy its reactor. If they failed, Earth would have no chance to fight back. Lena gathered her small team only. 5 people, including herself. They carried old rifles, homemade explosives, and courage. No one else could help them. Ortiz gave the final orders. You have 6 hours. That's all. The ship will launch toward Earth tonight. You must blow it up before then. Lena took a deep breath. Understood. The team used an old mining shuttle to approach the battleship. Its engines rattled, barely working, but it was small enough to hide from the council's sensors. As they reached the ship, Lena felt her heart race. The ship was huge, like a city floating in space. Its black armor glowed under the faint sun. They found a weak spot in its hull, close to a service hatch. Lena put on her helmet and checked her team. Remember she said over the radio, no? Mistakes. They left their shuttle and floated toward the hatch, using small thrusters. The cold of space bit through their suits, but they stayed focused. One by one, they entered the service tunnel, silent as ghosts. Inside, the halls of the ship were filled with strange lights and alien writing. Lena had studied council ships before, but being inside one felt terrifying. The air smelled of metal and chemicals. They moved quickly, planting small bombs near the reactor's power lines. Suddenly, Lena's radio crackled. Movement ahead, whispered one of her teammates, Marek. They hid behind pipes as 2 alien. Guards walked past, their weapons ready. The aliens spoke in their own strange language, sounding calm, knowing humans were already inside. Lena held her breath until they were gone. Keep going, she ordered. They reached the main reactor. The reactor glowed blue, pulsing like a beating heart. Lena placed the final explosives on its main power conduits. 5-minute timer, she said. Set. But just as they turned to leave, alarms began to ring through the ship. Intruders detected. An alien voice shouted over the speakers. Red. Lights flashed everywhere. Run, Lena yelled. The team sprinted through the narrow halls, blasters firing behind them. Alien soldiers blocked their escape, shooting with bright green energy bolts. Marek was hit in the leg and fell hard. Lena grabbed his arm and dragged him forward. No one gets left behind. They reached the service hatch again, their shuttle, waiting. Lena pushed Marek inside and jumped after him. But one alien soldier appeared at the hatch, aiming straight at Lena. She fired first. The alien fell, its weapon clattering on the floor. Lena slammed the shuttle's hatch shut. Go. She shouted. The pilot, a young kid named Tariq, fired up the engines. The shuttle shot away from the battleship just as the timer hit 0. A massive explosion tore through the Council ship. Blue fire burst from its reactor core, breaking the giant ship in half. Lena watched through the shuttle's window, breathing hard. Target destroyed, she said, voice shaking. Colonel Ortiz answered on the radio from Mars base. Good work, Lena. You saved billions. But Lena felt no relief. One ship was gone, but many more were coming. And something felt wrong. Marek, still wounded, looked at her. Lena, someone betrayed us. She turned sharply. What do you mean? He pulled a small device from his pocket. Found this in my suit. A tracker. Someone planted it on me. Lena's eyes went cold. Who knew about this mission? Marek winced. Only our team. Shuttle went silent. That meant a traitor was one of them. Back on Mars base, Colonel Ortiz watched the ruins of the Council ship burning in orbit. His people cheered, thinking they had one. But deep in his gut, Ortiz felt something wrong too. We're not finished yet, he whispered. Out among the stars, the rest of the Council fleet changed course. Their scouts reported the loss of the battleship Zara. The Council's green-scaled leader looked at the battle report with cold eyes. Earth is fighting back, he said. No more chances. Crush them completely. The Council fleet's engines burned bright, pushing them faster toward Earth. In Lena's shuttle, tension grew. She looked at her small team. One of you is a traitor, she said quietly. When we land, I will find out who. Her voice was calm but deadly. No. One answered. Only the sound of the shuttle engines filled the silence. The war was growing darker by the minute. Lena's shuttle landed back at the Mars base with a rough bump. The hatch opened, and the small team stepped out, still shaking from the battle. Soldiers and engineers came running, cheering their victory, but Lena did not celebrate. Her mind was cold and sharp. There was a traitor among them. Colonel Ortiz met her at the landing pad. Good job, he said, patting her on the shoulder. Lena shook her head. Colonel, someone on my team tried to betray us. They planted a tracker on Marek. Ortiz's eyes went hard. Are you sure? Yes, Lena said firmly. Only 5 people knew about the mission. Ortiz sighed. Then find the traitor before they do more damage. Lena gathered her team inside a small briefing room. The metal walls were scarred and rusty, showing years of hard use. Outside, alarms still sounded from the incoming Council fleet. Lena looked at each face. Marek, Tariq, Hannah, and Jace. She had trusted them all. Now she had to doubt every one. Someone here placed a tracker, she said quietly. That almost killed us. Marek nodded painfully, still holding his injured leg. It was hidden in my suit, he added. Hannah, a tall, silent woman, raised her hands. I would never do that, she said. Tariq looked nervous. We all nearly died, Lena. Who would risk that? Lena's voice stayed cold. A spy would. Jace, the mechanic, slammed his fist on the table. We're all soldiers. We fight for Earth. Lena shook her head. Till I know the truth, no one leaves this room. Outside, Mars base was in chaos. Troops loaded supplies into ships ready to help Earth's defense. The Council fleet was only days away. Colonel Ortiz walked through the base, barking orders, but his thoughts kept returning to Lena's team. If there really was a traitor, everything could fall apart. He picked up a radio and called Dr. Park on Earth. Dr. Mars has a security problem, he said. A traitor? Dr. Park asked. Maybe, Ortiz replied. If they talk to the Council, Earth's defense is finished. In the bunker under Antarctica, Dr. Park looked up at the giant titans on her monitors. We cannot delay, she told her engineers. Finish activating the titans. We have no choice. Back on Mars, Lena searched each team member's gear, one by one. She checked their weapons, their radios, even the food in their packs. Every second felt heavier. Finally, she found something strange in Jace's pocket, a small chip with council writing on it. "What is this?" she asked sharply. Jace's face went pale. I don't know," he stammered. "Don't lie," Lena said, voice turning ice cold. The others backed away as Lena stepped closer. "Explain this now." Jace's eyes darted around the room, searching for escape. "They promised to spare my family," he whispered. "I had to give them our mission data." Lena's heart sank. "You've betrayed us all for yourself." Jace looked ashamed. "I didn't want to, but they threatened my brother on Earth." Before Lena could answer, alarms screamed through the base. "Council strike incoming." A soldier shouted on the intercom. The walls shook as small explosions rocked the surface of Mars. Lena grabbed her helmet. "Oh, lock him up." She told Marek. 2 guards dragged Jace away, tears streaming down his face. Outside, Council fighters were dropping from orbit, firing plasma bolts at the base. Soldiers scrambled to defense turrets. Lena ran to the command post, Colonel Ortiz beside her. "They know we're here," Ortiz said grimly. "Jace told them," Lena answered. "Then we hold them off," Ortiz growled. "No one else is coming to save us?" They took up defensive positions. Dust and fire filled the air as Council forces landed on the surface. Alien soldiers in black armor marched forward with perfect discipline. Mars defenders opened fire. Bright blue plasma bolts clashed with human bullets. The ground shook with explosions. Lena fought side by side with Ortiz, her rifle hot in her hands. "She can't let them take Mars," she shouted for Earth. The soldiers roared. Back in the command bunker, Marek watched the battle unfold on security screens. His injured leg throbbed, but he refused to leave his station. Suddenly, saw something strange on one of the cameras, a small alien probe sneaking through the base tunnels. "What is that?" he asked. The probe carried a blinking red light. Marek realized what it meant. "A bomb," he whispered. Marek grabbed a radio. "Lena, there's a bomb in the lower tunnels." Lena heard him through the gunfire. "Where?" "Sector 5, Marek shouted. Lena turned to Ortiz. "Cover me." "I'm going." She ran through the chaos, dodging alien fire to reach the lower levels. The tunnels were filled with smoke and screaming soldiers. She finally saw the probe, its timer counting down. 2 minutes left. Lena's heart raced. She knelt down, trying to cut its wires. Her hands shook, sweat stinging her eyes. 1 minute. A voice in her ear. "Ortiz, can you do it?" "I don't know," Lena breathed. 30 seconds. She yanked out a blue wire. Praying it was the right one. The timer stopped at 5 seconds. Lena fell back, breathing hard. Bomb disarmed. She called out. Cheers echoed through the radio, but there was no time to rest. The Council troops were still attacking. Their ships dropping more soldiers onto Mars. Colonel Ortiz's voice rang through the speakers. "Hold the line. Earth depends on us." Above them, Council command ships moved into position. Their giant cannons aimed toward the Red Planet, deep under Antarctica. Dr. Park watched all this from Earth. Her hands trembled. "Mars is burning," she whispered. "We must finish the Titans before it's too late." The clock was running out for all of humanity. The air over Antarctica was sharp and freezing, but deep below the ice, the world was on fire. Alarms screamed through the Titan bunker. Engineers ran between giant cables, making final connections. Dr. Helen Park stood at the command table, her eyes focused. The Titan's Earth secret defense machines were almost ready, but only 60% of their systems worked. "We don't have time," one technician shouted. "The Council fleet is entering orbit." Dr. Park took a deep breath. "We will launch them anyway." Above, Council ships filled the skies. Their long, sleek bodies glowed with deadly energy. Hundreds of fighters broke away, diving down to ward Earth like a swarm of insects. In the bunker, Captain Sarah Knox put on her helmet. "Dr. Park," she called through the radio, "how many Titans can we send out now?" "3 are fully active," Dr. Park answered. 2 more need 1 hour. Knox slammed her fist on the table. "We don't have 1 hour." She turned to the soldiers beside her. "We hold them here. Every second we buy helps the Titans wake up. Outside the bunker, snow exploded under Council missile fire. Alien soldiers in black armor charged forward. Moving with machine-like precision, Earth's defenders were outnumbered, but they stood strong. Old tanks rolled across the ice, firing shells at the aliens. Captain Knox led her troops to the surface, plasma rifle in hand. "Focus your fire," she shouted. An alien energy bolt exploded near her, throwing ice and smoke into the air. Knox fell, her head ringing, but she pulled herself up and fired back, hitting an alien soldier straight in the chest. "No retreat," she screamed. Below the ground, the Titans woke. Their eyes glowed blue as power moved through their massive bodies. They were taller than buildings, each one carrying weapons powerful enough to destroy a starship. Technicians called out numbers. Titan 1, green lights. Titan 2, green lights. Dr. Park felt a tear roll down her cheek. "Launch them," she ordered. Above the ice, a massive steel door opened. The first Titan stepped out, its metal feet crushing the snow. The ground shook under its weight. Its cannons hummed with power. Alien soldiers stopped in shock. Then the Titan fired. Beam of blue light ripped through a Council tank, turning it to ash. The second Titan followed, launching a missile that blew up a group of alien troops. Earth soldiers cheered. "The Titans are here." In orbit, Council commanders saw the Titans on their screens. "Impossible," one alien hissed. "Humans built that?" Zara, the Council leader, narrowed his eyes. "No matter," he growled. "Destroy them." He gave the order. And dozens of heavy Council ships aimed their guns down at Antarctica. Dr. Park saw the warning on her screen. "They're going to bombard us," she whispered. Captain Knox shouted into her radio. "We have to take out their flagship before they wipe us from orbit." A plan formed in Dr. Park's mind, wild and dangerous. "Titan 3 is ready?" "Yes," a technician answered. "Then send Titan 3 into orbit," Dr. Park commanded. "It will attack the Council flagship directly." The room went silent. "Ma'am, that's suicide," the technician said. "Do it anyway," Park replied. "Earth has no choice." Outside, Titan 3 lifted off, using giant rocket boosters on its back. Flames roared as the massive machine rose through the sky. Climbing higher and higher, in orbit, Council fighters turned to intercept. But Titan 3's cannons fired first, blasting them out of its path. The humans on the ground watched, breathless as their giant defender rose through the clouds. "God help it," Captain Knox whispered. On the Council flagship, alarms rang. Alien officers scrambled to lock weapons on Titan 3. Zara stared through a viewing window. "What are they doing?" Titan 3 broke through Earth's atmosphere. Metal armor, glowing from the heat, it aimed its shoulder missiles at the flagship. Target locked, its pilot radioed. Back on Earth, Dr. Park prayed. "Please work." Titan 3 fired all its weapons at once. Missiles, plasma beams, and railguns struck the flagship's shields, cracking them open. The ship's massive cannons powered up to answer, but Titan 3 fired again, hitting the ship's reactor core. A huge explosion tore through the flagship. Fire and debris rained into space. Earth's defenders cheered as the giant alien. Ship went dark and started to break apart, but Titan 3 was badly damaged by the blast. Systems failed, and it began to fall back toward Earth, flames covering its broken armor. The pilot's voice was weak over the radio. "I can't control." Captain Knox watched the Titan fall. "Get him out of there," she shouted. But it was too late. Titan 3 crashed into the ocean with a huge wave of steam. A sad silence filled the bunker in orbit. The Council fleet was stunned by the loss of their flagship. Zara slammed his fist on the control panel. "Act! These humans will not stop," he hissed. "Then we will show them no mercy." He ordered all Council ships to move into attack formation. Captain Knox looked at the two remaining Titans. Now, fighting hard on the ice, she knew the real war was only beginning. "Earth is still." "Standing," she said, "but for how long?" The Council fleet began to descend, ready to crush everything. The Council fleet surrounded Earth like a dark storm. Dozens of giant warships aimed their guns down, ready to burn the planet to ashes. In the bunker under Antarctica, Dr. Park watched the monitors, her heart heavy. The Titans were fighting bravely, but they were outnumbered. Captain Knox stood next to her, trying to stay calm. "We have 2 Titans left," Dr. Park said. "They can't hold forever. We'll buy time," Knox replied. Far above them, in one of the Council's command ships, an alien named Roll watched the destruction with a bitter heart. He was tall, with blue scales and a thin face. He had served the Council for years, believing they protected peace. But now, watching Earth burn, he felt sick. "They are only defending themselves," he whispered to himself. "They are not monsters." He could not stay silent anymore. Rawl opened a secret communication line, risking his own life. Deep in the Titan, "Bunker!" a technician shouted. "Incoming transmission encrypted." Dr. Park looked surprised. "From who?" "From a Council ship." Knox stepped forward. "Put it through." Rawl's face appeared on the screen. His voice was calm but urgent. "My name is Rawl. I am a Council strategist. Listen to me. If you do not change your defense plan, you will lose." Knox raised her weapon, suspicious. "Why should we trust you?" "Because I cannot watch this slaughter," Rawl said. "You have hidden strength, but your tactics are wrong. I can help you." Dr. Park looked at him carefully. "If you are lying, we are finished," she warned. "I know," Rawl replied, "but I am telling you the truth." In the Council Command Center, Zara, the green-scaled leader, noticed a strange signal. "Track this frequency," he ordered. His guards quickly scanned the waves. "It's coming from one of our own ships," they reported. Zara's eyes went dark. "Find the traitor. Kill him." Back on Earth, Dr. Park decided to gamble. "What is your advice, Rawl?" Rawl explained quickly. "The Council ships will attack in a pattern. They will leave one weak spot open near their rear guard. Strike there with your Titans and your remaining warplanes. You can break their line." Knox thought hard. "It could be a trap." "Or our only chance," Dr. Park replied. "Captain." Knox gave the order. "All units, listen up. Prepare for a counterattack. We aim for their rear guard." Far away, Rawl knew he had signed his death warrant. Council soldiers smashed open his control room door. "You betrayed us," they shouted. Raw raised his hands. "I did what was right." They dragged him away, beating him, but he did not fight back. On Earth, the Titans moved quickly. Their giant legs crushed the ice as they turned toward the Council's weak spot. Behind them, Earth's last warplanes roared through the sky. Carrying old but powerful bombs, Knox led the charge on foot, running beside her troops. "We strike now," she yelled. Council ships fired down, sending waves of plasma across the ice. One Titan was hit, metal armor shattering, but it kept walking, refusing to fall. Earth's soldiers fired everything they had: rockets, shells, even homemade bombs. They threw it all at the Council lines. The Council did not expect this sudden attack. Their ships shifted too slowly, leaving a hole in their defense. "Now," Knox shouted. The Titans fired together. 2 giant plasma beams punched through the Council rearguard, blasting ships apart. Earth's warplanes dropped their bombs, striking power cores and fuel tanks. Explosions lit up the sky like 1,000 suns. On the Council flagship, Zara roared. With rage, "Who told them our weakness?" No one answered. "Find the traitor," he screamed. Back on Earth, the Titans pushed forward. The remaining Council ships turned to escape, but Earth's defenders did not let them go. Soldiers cheered as the giant alien warships broke apart in flames. "We're doing it." One pilot screamed, "We're winning." Dr. Park felt hope rise for the first time in days. "Thank you, Rawl," she whispered. In the Council ship where Rawl was captured, soldiers beat him again and again. His blood stained the cold metal floor. Zara stepped over him with cold eyes. "You betrayed the Council for these humans," he spat. "They deserve a chance," Rawl replied weakly. Zara raised a blade. "No traitors," he said, and the blade came down. Back on Earth, the Titans stood tall among the burning wreckage. Earth had survived for now. Captain Knox took off her helmet, breathing hard. "We did it," she said. But Dr. Park shook her head. No, she warned, they will come again with everything. High above, broken pieces of council ships drifted like dying stars. But a new, massive war fleet waited behind them, hidden. Beyond Saturn's rings, ready to finish what the first wave could not, a dark shadow was falling on Earth once more. Far beyond Earth, behind the icy rings of Saturn, a second council fleet waited in the darkness. Their ships were larger, more advanced, and far more deadly than the first wave. On the bridge of the new flagship, the alien leader Zara stood with cold rage burning in his eyes. Earth thinks they won, he growled, but now they will see true power. Round him, alien commanders bowed, afraid of his anger. Prepare all ships, Zara ordered. No mercy this time. Back on Earth, the first battle had left. Antarctica in ruins. The Titans stood among broken ice, their metal bodies scorched and cracked. Engineers worked day and night to fix them, but their resources were low. In the bunker, Dr. Park tried to stay calm. How many Titans can still move? O21 technician answered. The others are too damaged. Park clenched her fists. That will have to be enough. Captain Knox gathered her surviving soldiers. They were tired, wounded, and scared, but their spirit was not broken. Listen, she told them, the council is not finished. They will come again. But we will meet them in space, before they reach Earth. One young soldier looked shocked. In space, ma'am? Don't have enough ships, Knox nodded. We'll use everything we have, even old warships from the moon colonies. If we let them reach Earth, we lose everything. That night, under a cold, black sky, Earth's last space fleet launched. Old, rusty carriers, mining haulers turned into battleships, and the Titans riding giant boosters. It was a strange, desperate army. People around the world watched their screens in silence as the fleet moved past the moon, headed for Saturn. Dr. Park stayed behind, running the command. Center. God help them, she whispered. Days later, near Saturn's rings, the two forces met. The council fleet was terrifying. Their ships burned with red energy, weapons locked and ready. Earth's ships looked small and broken in comparison, but they had no choice except to fight. On her command deck, Captain Knox spoke into the radio. Everyone stand together, for Earth. The battle started like thunder. Council ships fired beams of green plasma cutting through the black of space. Earth's ships answered with missiles and railguns. The Titans charged forward, using their giant boosters to leap across the battlefield. Their cannons fired huge blue bolts that smashed through Council shields. But the enemy was too many. One Titan took a direct hit from 3 warships at once. Its armor exploded, pieces spinning. Away into the void, Knox saw it and bit her lip. Keep fighting. Aboard the Council flagship, Zara watched the humans with hate. Crush them, he ordered. Hundreds of Council fighters broke away, swarming Earth's ships like angry bees. Explosions filled the sky, bright and deadly. Knox's ship was hit, alarms blaring, fire spreading across the deck. Seal those bulkheads, she shouted. Sparks rained from the ceiling as her crew struggled to hold the ship together. One Titan 2 pushed forward, dodging enemy fire, heading straight for the Council flagship. Its pilot, Lieutenant Raj, was calm even as his cockpit shook. If I take him down, Raj whispered, maybe we win. He charged through a wall of fighters, his cannons blazing. Pieces of Council ships broke around him. He locked onto the flagship's weak point. Target locked, he said. On the flagship, Zara saw him coming. Fools, he spat. Destroy him. But it was too late. Titan 2 fired a missile straight into the flagship's engines. The explosion ripped through the giant alien ship, flames rolling across its hull. Raj cheered. Direct hit. The Council flagship began to tilt, losing control. Other Council ships hesitated, shocked to see their leader falling. Knox saw the moment. All ships push forward, she ordered. Earth's forces surged, striking Council ships left and right. Their unity, their courage, was stronger than any alien weapon. But the Council still had one final weapon. Aboard a dark cruiser, a scientist named Vecker, activated a new device, a planet killer, a massive bomb meant to crack Earth itself. If we cannot rule them, Vecker hissed, we will destroy them. Knox's scanners caught the signal. Ma'am, an officer cried, they're arming a planet killer. Knox's eyes went wide. Where? Sector Delta, near Saturn. Titan II, badly damaged. Turned toward the planet killer ship. Raj's voice was hoarse. I can take it out, he radioed. Knox shouted back. Raj, you won't make it back. Raj swallowed. Tell my family. I did my best. He pushed his Titan to maximum speed, charging the planet killer before it could fire. The alien scientist Vecker saw him coming. Too late, human, he sneered. But Raj fired every weapon he had. Missiles, plasma, railguns. A storm of light tore through the cruiser. The planet killer's core exploded, massive shockwave ripping through space. Raj was gone. Knox lowered her head, tears in her eyes. Raj, thank you. The surviving council ships, leaderless and broken, retreated into the black. Earth's fleet floated in silence, battered but alive. In the Titan bunker far below, Dr. Park wept with relief. We survived, she said softly, but in the darkness. Beyond Saturn, council distress signals flashed. Other alien forces might answer them, stronger, crueler, unknown. The war was not over yet. Smoke and debris drifted through space like ghosts. The broken pieces of council warships spun around Saturn, shining under the distant sun. Earth's battered fleet floated among them, silent but still alive. Captain Knox stood on the damaged bridge of her flagship, staring at the stars. How many did we lose? She asked. An officer looked down sadly. Over half our ships, ma'am. Knox took a deep breath. Then we fight with what's left. Back on Earth, Dr. Park watched the feeds from orbit. The Titans were still moving, but their armor was cracked and power cells nearly empty. Engineers worked night and day to repair them. We have to hold on, Park whispered. Suddenly her screen showed something terrifying. A new alien fleet was coming. Stronger, larger, responding to the Council's last call for help. Their signals were cold and full of hate. Park's heart sank. No, she breathed. Not again. High above, the new alien fleet jumped out of hyperspace. Their ships were jagged and black, looking like monsters from a nightmare. At their center was a massive dreadnought, bigger than any council ship seen before. On board that dreadnought, a new alien commander, Karn, growled orders. Crush this planet. Leave nothing alive. Captain Knox heard the reports as the new ships arrived. All units, prepare for final defense, she called. This is it. Her soldiers, tired and hurt, still stood straight. They had come too far to give up now, if for Earth. They shouted, on the ground! Dr. Park activated the last defense lines. Old missile silos, laser towers, even homemade weapons, anything that could fire. She armed it. We will not surrender, she told her engineers. The alien dreadnought began to fire. Giant energy beams shot down toward Earth, burning holes in the oceans. Shaking the continents, Knox's fleet tried to block the beams with shields, but their power was running out. Redirect Titans, she ordered. Hit that dreadnought. The two remaining Titans charged forward through space, dodging alien cannons. Their giant bodies glowed with sparks as their cores overheated. In Titan 1, pilot Lena Chen gripped her controls tight. We're going in, she told her team. Titan 1 fired its main plasma cannon, hitting the dreadnought's shields with all its remaining energy. Titan 2 fired as well, cracking the dreadnought's defenses. But Karn was ready. Destroy those Titans, he screamed. Alien fighters swarmed around the Titans like angry wasps, blasting their armor with green plasma bolts. Titan 2 took a hit to its reactor, flames bursting from its back. Lena watched in horror as Titan 2 went dark and spun into Saturn's rings, lost forever. No, she cried. Titan 1 kept going, engines screaming, shields almost gone. Lena saw the dreadnought's weak spot, close to its bridge. One chance, she whispered. She armed Titan I's last missile, a nuclear warhead meant for emergency use only. In the Dreadnought's command center, Karn laughed. You think one machine can stop me? Lena pushed her Titan forward, straight through a hail of alien fire. Parts of her machine melted, but she did not stop. For Earth, she shouted. She launched the nuclear missile at close range. The missile hit the Dreadnought's bridge, tearing a hole straight through it. A giant explosion followed, ripping the Dreadnought apart. Fire and metal flew everywhere. Lena barely had time to eject from her Titan before it was swallowed by the blast on Earth. People cheered as the Dreadnought broke in two. Dr. Park cried tears of relief. She did it, she whispered. But Earth was not safe yet. Dozens of alien ships still circled the planet, leaderless but dangerous. Knox raised her voice on the radio. All ships target the survivors. Earth's defenders charged together. One last time. Missiles, plasma bolts, and railgun rounds filled the skies. Piece by piece, the alien ships fell. At last, after hours of brutal fighting, the final enemy ship exploded over Earth. Silence fell in space. Knox sat down, exhausted, and took off her helmet. Is it over? She asked. Dr. Park answered softly over the radio. Yes, it's over. On the ground, people poured into the streets, hugging each other, crying, singing. They had survived the greatest attack in human history, days later. Dr. Park stood outside the Titan bunker, looking up at the stars. Lena joined her, her arm in a sling but alive. We won, Lena said. Park nodded. Yes, but we must never forget. We're stronger together. High above, wreckage from the battles still floated around the planet, a reminder of the price of freedom. Captain Knox, now promoted to Admiral, looked out from her new command ship. If they ever come again, she said, we will be ready. The camera feed from Earth showed people rebuilding, planting flags, and raising the symbols of resistance. Humanity had survived no alien council would ever again take their freedom without a fight.